I hope you're keeping well. This is Esther at Stampin Star Creations for another Christmas Stampathon 2021 challenge over on Facebook. This month's theme is to create Christmas vintage cards using very Versailles, Tidings and Trimmings watercolour shapes, and I'm later going to use the birch stamp also. Starting off with a piece of very vanilla cardstock and coming in with crumb cake. This is a great go-to that I tend to do with vintage cards. So using my blending brush, I'm doing a vignette look and concentrating on all the corners of my card to create that vintage effect. Then coming in with the script stamp in the very Versailles and just stamping off once and then using the remaining colour onto my page. Coming in with Sahara Sand and the largest circle from the watercolour shapes. Now this is a very new ink pad, so you might find that you get this look on there, very kind of muddled. I'm using my block to scrape away some of the ink and then coming in again to try again. If you still find that it's too inky, keep scraping the colour to the side, and by the third one it looks much better, it gives a much better impression. Using my circle dies, I'm using the die that cuts out the middle of the circle so there's no border around the edge, and coming in with soft suede to give it more of a vintage look around the edges. Coming in with Evening Evergreen, and I'm stamping my sentiment onto the circle. Now if you notice with this one I've missed the T off the word most, so that was my guideline then for the rest of the circles. So for the challenges you tend to have to make 4 of each of the designs. So using that as a guideline, it's only a bit of the W that was missing, so I was more happy with that. I'm going ahead and using another piece of very vanilla and just trying to age it a bit by putting a bit of colour on it with my blending brush again, and using Evening Evergreen and coming in with a stocking image. There's 2 that come in the stamp set and this one is a hollow image, and I've cut them out with the matching die shapes. Coming back in with the same colour, I'm using, making sure I'm getting the right brush, using the brush to colour these in. This one I used Stampin' Blends, but I found that the colour was too solid and I like the look of more blending to go to match the card. So using my brush and concentrating on the heel of the stockings and on the toes, so you've got this lovely colour blend happening. There you go, much preferred the look of those. Then coming in with the leaves from the stamp, I'm just trying to position them so that they work around the circle. So I did a tester one in the middle because I'm using soft succulent and I wanted to see if that colour was right or not, and it's okay because it's going to be covered up by the circle. So you can test out the ink in a place that it's going to get covered up. Extending the design from the circle and leaving space because I want to put the stocking on the right hand side. So keep checking in with the circle just for placement to make sure that that's in the right place. The great thing with this stamp set is that it has filler stamps also, so I tend to do the outline first and then use the filler stamp to fill them in. You can stamp and then stamp again, and this gives a nice shading to your work. So there's 2 stamps, the 2 leaf and the 3 leaf. So I did a mixture of both on my card. I pre-cut some of these die shapes already from the matching set, and I'm just testing out to see if these bright cherry cobbler colour berries would work in addition to the dies. And I think it just helps to have both. So we're incorporating that red colour elsewhere in the card. So wherever there's leaves, I've added some berries also. I love this stamp set. It's just so delicate and it's got some lovely mixture of pieces to it. So using an older pair of scissors, I'm just running this down the side of my card. As you can see, I nicked it and tore it, but that's okay because I don't mind that looking vintagey. If you don't want to tear your page, then I would suggest holding your thumb a bit close to the edge and maybe going a little bit slower so that you've got more control over the roughed edges. Like I said, I quite like the nick. I didn't mean to tear it so many times, but it just happened, so I went with it. So time to stick on those dies. I'm just using a bit of Tombow glue at the end of my silicone mat, and I've got a sponge brush here and I'm just going to brush on some glue on the back of those. It's great for just quick and easy coverage. So I knew I wanted some berries over the stocking, but the placement was a little bit odd, so I stuck it down onto the circle, and then I decided actually I want these stuck up on dimensionals. So gone ahead and stuck the berry down partially on the circle, and then stuck some dimensionals down as well. Having dimensionals, it just helps the feature of the card to pop in the middle. Then having my stocking hanging, then I can continue to decorate around it with the other elements on the card. I wanted to add a bow to the card, so I'm laying down some more colour with the blending brushes, then putting the bow, stamping the bow afterwards. I wanted a touch of gold on the card, so here comes the birch stamp, and I've just partially inked it up so that I can place the stamp where I want it onto the card. Adding some heat and stick powder. And then this heats quite quickly, so it's a bit different to your embossing powder, which might take a bit longer. I store my gilded flakes, the offcuts as it were, in a box, the bits that have been rubbed off from other projects. So I don't need to get loads of gold flakes out, I just use what's in my box for this project. And it just clings to those strips where we've got the birch stamp. I was desperate to add some embellishments, so a little gold pearl was enough to finish it off. Here I am auditioning different colours to see what works best, evergreen or crumb cake, and then in the end I decided to go for cherry cobbler. It just helped the red pieces on the card to pop, and it just made it feel really Christmassy. So thank you so much for watching along and sticking with me throughout my vintage Christmas card video. If you want to check out the other designs or take part in the challenges, then you'll need to head over to Facebook and look for Christmas Stampathon 2021. We put down a challenge for 10 months on the 25th of the month, nice and easy to remember, and it just helps you get ready for Christmas. I made this on a really super hot day in June, but there you go. This is the card I made. Hope you like it. Do give me a thumbs up if you did, and comment below. Let me know if you would have added more embellishments to it, or if you think it's vintagey enough. Don't forget you can subscribe to my channel, and if you hit that bell for notifications, it will let you know when I'm live or when I've got a video uploaded. Thank you for watching.